Here we are. And I'm chilling in the bed because I'm fucking tired. What's up, Jen? Hope you're doing all right. So here's something weird is that thanks for tuning in, man. Hope you're doing all right. On my phone, I can see that you wrote the message said sup AD, but in my chat, I see nothing. Like absolutely nothing at all. Now, can I see Elijah? What's up? What's up, man? What's up, Elijah? I see you on my phone and in the chat on the live stream, but in my chat, like that's off of YouTube, however you want to say it, has absolutely nothing there. Okay, here it is. I had to switch it. So I was it set the top chat and live chat. Okay, here it is. I can see it now. What's up, Super? Thanks for tuning in, man. Thanks for tuning in, Elijah, Super, Jen. Maybe somebody who's watching and just didn't have the chance to write, or maybe you just don't want to write. That's cool. Thanks for tuning in. um, yeah, so I was on Facebook this morning and I stumbled on this article about uh about one of the scams that goes on with getting people to with immigration issues, right? And these are issues that you just don't really hear a lot of in the U.S. because I think because one, the U.S. is just much more bigger. It's just much more spaced out, so you just don't see, and that just brings upon its own problem. So I wanted to cover this article tonight. It says UK men offered £10,000 to pose as dads in visa scam. The BBC investigation finds. So yeah, UK men are being paid £10,000 to just write their name on a birth certificate of a child, right? So then so because I covered this, I talked about this a long time ago. Like there's so many scams, especially over here, going on with that of let's say like somebody from a poor country, or maybe they just didn't want to stay in a country. I don't know. They would go to like Britain or to Germany or whatever the fuck, and but they have to time it right, right? And give birth like while they were like there visiting, and that would that would give the kid automatic citizenship. If not automatic citizenship, the automatic residency. And once you have that immediate family with that tie or connection to the country, then there's a great chance, especially if it's your kid, that you're going to get it automatically too. And the UK really gets hit with that hard. UK, Germany's trying to play like they like it, but they really don't like it. Like for real, like Germany, because Germany's just so afraid of being seen as Hitler again. So like they try to pretend like it. Like you can legit go to Germany as a prostitute. Like on your like for your visa paperwork, you can literally fill out prostitution and it's totally fine. Whereas I don't know how true this is, but I did stumble on a story where um it's getting much harder for OnlyFans girls to like go to the U.S. because it's being seen as prostitution, and in America you can't go to America with your income being from prostitution. They're not gonna let you do it. Now I don't know how true that is. It was a story, so I'm not gonna say it's like a total fact, but I can believe that. I can believe that because, like I said, in the end, because here's the thing, man. In my opinion, in the end, it's gonna be it's women are going to essentially be what's going to keep the economy flowing harder, right? Because women are always going to want more and more and more and more and more, right? So the fact that you make prostitution illegal is okay. It's still going to happen, right? Sex, alcohol, drugs, these things are always going to happen. Is that, in my opinion, there's just no way out of it, right? So I think in reality, what happens is if you make it illegal, then that makes it that much more valuable for real, right? Because now it's much harder to get. Now it's just going to make people want it even more. Like if you make weed, if you flat out make weed illegal, that's going to do nothing but make the people go, well, what's that? Weed's illegal. Maybe I should inquire. Why is what's with this? See, like for I say out of 10 people who normally would have never even touched weed at all, if you just say that's illegal, that's bad, that's going to stir up interest, and a decent amount of those people who would otherwise never would have even cared, right? And I think it's the same thing with alcohol over here, because the drinking age is 18, right? So you don't since the drinking age is 18, you don't like over here, dude, you don't, as far as like things like drunk driving, I mean, you'll still have people like, drunk not even in public for where I am in Prague. You really, surprisingly enough, you really with as much beer as these people drink in Prague, and you gotta remember, Prague is pretty much a hub of most of Europe, right? So with all these people, you don't see very many drinking altercations go on with in comparison with the amount that people drink, and I think that has a large part to do with, like I said, if you just make if you don't make something illegal or like demonized, and then that whole like rush to make it this focal point of like an event just dies completely down. Like I remember when I first came here, I was with my ex-wife. We went to go see Logan actually together. And I said Logan by far is like the best Marvel movie like of a soul. I say it has to be in everybody's top five. Logan, if you haven't seen Logan yet, that would just be a good movie just on its own, and just it had nothing to do with X-Men or nothing, right? But we went to go see Logan, and I still remember when we went to the movie theater, and you can actually buy a beer and take it into the movie theater, and I was completely floored. I was completely shocked by it, right? And there was like, I say kids, there was like 18, 19-year-olds just like standing there, and the drinking age is 18, 19, and they're not even drinking it, right? They didn't even touch it. Had no, and not the fact they didn't even touch it, they didn't even have a care to even want to drink it. I think one kid got a non-alcoholic beer. I think one kid got a non-alcoholic. But and to me, that was just like, it just floored me, just completely floored. Like because I had never seen that before. Because in the U.S. it was always, look, when you go off to college, you get your hands on beer as soon ASAP as possible. You go out to college, dude. The motherfuckers be out there trying. I mean, not everybody, of course, but it's definitely a decent amount of motherfuckers out there who like, as soon as they leave, they get away from home, they get away from their parents. Or some people, they sneak alcohol in their parents' house. Since I've been here, I will say, from my perspective, I have never seen. I don't say I've never. I've seen very rare and very few genuine drunk people doing something. Right now, you'll get on a tram every now and then. You get on a train or a tram every now and then. You'll smell somebody who smells like they've been drinking. Sure, but as far as like this whole extra sense of extracurricular violence and extracurricular, this extra yelling, all this that goes along with it, no. And see, and these are areas where I'm more happy that I have when I did finally have a kid. This is gonna be his home. Because for those of us who grew up in the U.S., you already know how that shit happens in the U. You put some alcohols anywhere, and somebody's gonna be fighting. Like, somebody's gonna be fighting. What's up, Billy Lazar? What's up, RT? 80, did you ever listen to Michael Jackson's History album? I'm sure I have. Is that the one with morphine on it? That she's taking morphine. She's taking Demerol. Oh God, he's taking Demerol. That one, I think that's History. I can't remember anymore, but I'm sure I've at least, because if I'm not mistaken, History has Too Bad on it, which I thought would be like Bad remix, but it's like a whole nother song. I can't remember if I've. Wait, is History not? No, Dangerous is the one. Okay. I can't remember. I'm sure I have though. If Michael Jackson did it, I'm sure I've listened to it. Yes, my German fans hate it. What's up, Dark Rebel? Yeah, yeah. Like but here's the thing, though. I love Germany. Okay, no correction. I've only been to Dresden, and I didn't really care for Dresden. But I love how just brutally like straightforward Germans are like in media and shit. Like I love that shit. I was watching this not documentary, but it's like a story. I forget what you call it now. But let's just say a story on YouTube about like why BMW and Mercedes is going to shit, right? But they're still selling. And they were talking like directly with BMW and German engineers, like on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like all their business was in the street, and they say, yeah, we're suffering from. Oh no, we're only we're okay. Long story short, it's pretty much saying, yeah, we're only getting by on what is it? An image bonus. I think that's what he called it, an image bonus for what Mercedes used to be, and they've gone to shit like in the last like 5 or 6 years type of thing. Like they were just flat like just saying what it was, like in the street. In America, you fuck around get sued for some shit like that. These motherfuckers like, but they were just brutally straightforward. I follow this one female physicist. And like them motherfuckers they can be just cold and straight and direct with no sense of emotion. Like I love that shit. I said like when Kratos gets bigger, I want to send him to Germany for like day camps and shit like that, just to see what the fuck he turns into when he gets back. You know what I mean? Like it's my own experiment. just to see just to see what that shit's like. Cause man, the Germans be so straightforward. They can be. Okay, they can be. Because I spoke with very few actual Germans when I would go there. Very few. It was a different dynamic than the Czechs. The Czechs just don't want to talk, and but they can also be straightforward and also be a little cold. And I got my own opinion on that. Whereas from my opinion, the few Germans I genuinely sat down and talked to, again, this is just my very small experience, so take this with a complete grain of salt. But yeah, it would kind of come back to this okay, I'm traumatized by North America. Let me finish last thought. It would come down to this very direct, like, I want to, I don't want to, I like this, I don't like this, I don't want to continue the conversation, I want to continue the conversation. It was very direct, like, and this is where I'm traumatized by North America, man. Like in North America, people talk a lot, but don't really, mean anything behind it. And so here's even when you approach a girl, okay, here's a difference in the US versus what I would just say Europe. I would really just say a lot of anywhere else you really go outside of Western countries, from what I've been able to witness and experience. When you speak to a woman, okay, in the US, a lot of times a woman will just continue the conversation simply because she's just shy. She doesn't know how to tell you no or whatever the fuck. And you'll walk off thinking that she likes you. And then you go on and then you go, try to call her, a couple days later, and she just leaves you out. You just left that and you just sitting around just like super duper confused. Like, what the fuck? I thought she really liked me. I don't know what's going on. Blah, 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 blah. You see, in America, this happens a lot more, right? And I'm willing to bet pretty much any Western country that's going to have feminism, I'm willing to bet this is going to be a very common occurrence, right? Now, once you get out of those countries, the West that has that feminism, and then you get like you get out that hardcore West, and you get and you talk to a woman there, like the woman's gonna make it very clear, if I say within 5 sentences, if she likes you, if she wants to continue the conversation, blah 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 blah. And here's the thing, like I'm traumatized. I'm still traumatized by it. And I give you an example because I go to the Institute of Biology a lot now. It's library, right? And I got to talking with this one girl in there, and oh my god, like the girls at these universities in Prague are just like, they're all fucking gorgeous, dude. Like just I'd say 7 out of 10 of them are just gorgeous. 2 are like all right, and then like the last one is like, an American level, like 6.5, right? So she's pretty low down over here, and like I'm still traumatized by it. Cause I got to talking with this one girl. She was sitting next to me in the library while I was reading, and she was studying. And I asked her what did I ask? I asked her how can I audit a course? Because in the U.S. you can audit courses. You won't get any credit for it, but you can go there. You can sit down and learn, but you can't get any credit for it. And so she just like comes back with all the, and she's putting in more effort than I'm putting into it. And it's like I've been here 7 years. I'll be 37 this year, and I'm still off with this shit. I still get like to this day it will still catch me off guard that one, women are allowed to be women, and two, just because a woman's feminine doesn't mean that she can't make her own mind up, in this altercation, right? And see, and this is where I go back on American women. It's like American women have just have meshed becoming feminine with automatically being this incapable, infantile, defenseless, innocent little butterfly, and the whole world wants to hurt her type shit. Whereas once you leave there, it's like, okay, like for example, here it's like a woman is allowed to be feminine, but she can also still make up her fucking mind, right? And she does, and like, okay, from my experience with the women here, like they don't have to kind of like lead you on to some shit and hope you get you get it that she doesn't like you and all that shit. So she'll just tell you, right? And we end up talking for a while. And like I said, like with the last girl I met at the park, if anything, she put in more effort than I did, especially if they could speak English. Like that's usually the hard part. That's usually the hard part is if she feels comfortable with her English. Matter of fact, today I went to the shoe store because I wanted to get a new pair of walking shoes for the cobblestones. And I got to talk. And the first girl I worked with, she was real shy because she was nervous about her English. And she went and she ran to get me her colleague. And her colleague spoke fluent English. And then me and her talked for about 10 minutes, just like right there about shoes and like where we both live and all this shit, right? Like immediate. Right? So I think Mo, if you're watching, what's up, Mo? Um, yeah, fuck, I just lost my train of thought because I read your comment. Thanks for tuning in, Mo. I forgot because it was something you had mentioned a while back, and I wanted to touch on it. But yeah, no, that direct like they'll. I'm traumatized. I'm still traumatized. I'm 37, and I'm still like, oh, does she think I'm gonna try to rape her? Like, I'm still like in that mode. I'm westernized. Like, I have PTWD, post traumatic Westerner disorder. I'm still fucked up. Like now, so if I can like get myself to forget it, I could just go and move. But sometimes I can't. Sometimes it just catches me off guard. I'm not ready for that shit, and I'm still like, and even now, I still regress back to like Ohio AD. Right? I'm like, oh, I better just ignore this shit. Don't even try to keep a conversation going. Just walk away and leave. Right? Like, yeah, I'm still traumatized by that shit. I'm still traumatized by North America. I've been here 7 years, and it'll still come out. Now today was a normally good day, but it still does come out. Like I still immediately feel, and I'll be honest with y'all, I still from time to time I still get this weird mixture of immediate fear. Does she think I'm going to try to rape her? Maybe I should make it clear, like I'm, give her space and have something else to do because I don't want to be accused of rape. You know what I mean? Like I see it still happens, right? Even though like I said, I've worked a lot of those kinks out, but it still creeps up every now and then where I'll be like, oh no, this shit ain't worth it. You know what I mean? It still happens. What's up, Blackkin? The birth rate of most first world countries are going down, so they will be more open to immigration over time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is a situation with the birth rates going down like that, like the way they are. That is a real situation that could be, and I would have to be of the mind to like cover that in from my opinion of it, on a relatively well-rounded sense because I can touch on from biology to economics, which a lot of times biology and economics in terms of childbirth pretty much go hand in hand. It's synonymous. I'd say it's ultimately one form of study, And this is why, like for example, when people get on economics or get on biology, like this is like I think this is a big disconnect that biology and economics are two totally different things. But when it comes to like childbirth and women and men, it's the same shit. Like it really is. Now I think the only reason why economics goes more in depth is because because humans actually use verbs. We have verbal communications, so that adds that extra layer of manipulation and and maybe corruption or intimidation. That adds just like in relatively speaking infinitely new methods of persuading people, a person or people. Yo, what's up? Thanks for the donation, Snap Feather. Thanks for the dollar, man. Let me see. This was AD. Last Friday, I had sex with a 21-year-old girl. She blowjob me multiple times, and the whole night I didn't come. I was disappointed in myself, but after I started to think that it made me more superior to a girl because she couldn't please me bad enough. Well, yeah, and I'll tell you part with me, man. Like usually the first time, like it takes me a while to come with a new girl. Like I don't just like that's something I've never understood how guys can do or just come too quick. Like I've never had that. If anything, like I don't come. I don't like one night stands. I don't care because I don't know this woman yet. Like I don't know her moans, her body, how she's gonna move, what she's really saying by how she how she moved to the left, like that type of shit. I don't come the first maybe like the first two times unless I just make myself. Unless it's like a hooker and that's like the whole point. Like you are just strictly there to fuck and leave type shit. Like like a hooker type shit. Unless it's like that, like then I can. But if it's like here's the thing, man. Here's the thing, and I'll be honest with you, like from my end, like with me, there's two different types of attraction, right? So when it's a brothel, when you go to when you go pick up a hooker or something like that, this is strictly just because I like the shape of her body, her ass, her tits, or the look of her face, whatever, and that's all I want to fuck, right? Now here is the other part that is making me in some ways more just like I guess you say like asexual. I guess is that I forget what I always get those confused. I think it's asexual is when I actually have to talk to a woman and talking to a woman. Okay, now luckily I hang out around a lot of universities or places where you're gonna have to think to even walk in the door type shit. So like I do have a better experience, in my normal walk of life. But like out, let's say like randomly, like in a food court or some shit like that, in a mall, something like that, where like it's just regular hoes and to talk to them, like that, more likely have nothing going on in their life type of shit. Like that is immediately disgusting. Like most women's personalities are just completely just disgusting to me. There's nothing there outside of their physical attractiveness. There is nothing else in most women. Let's say, like I said, in the regular average world of like just going to the mall, going to the store, going to Best Buy or some shit like that, and wherever you go into like a regular store, restaurant, or just like walking around neighborhood, meeting a regular woman just out in the regular world, if anything, is disgusting. Majority, like I said, unless she just has a nice ass or something like that. But once I have to actually speak with her, that's when it just goes down. No, I'm cool. I'd rather just go home and just jack off the porn. I don't want to talk. I just it's very rarely. But you want to know what's weird though? The coffee shop down the street always has educated women in there, and sure there are some bad eggs with education women because everything's gonna have a good and bad. But when I go in that I don't go in there much anymore because I think they're just too expensive. But I always end up talking with the barista. We call them baristas, I think, and they get a lot of girls from Italy in there. They get a lot of girls from around Europe to come do internships in a coffee shop, and I still don't really know why that. I think for bacon or something like that, because they bake a lot of shit. But they get a lot of interns in there, and there's been a lot of workers like in and out of there, and those girls tend to actually have some type of character, right? But when I go out in the regular, like, the grocery store, some shit like that, like, most women are just not attractive, dude. Like, once they have to start talking, it's not attractive. So but in my life, I tend to stick around universities, museums, libraries, shit like that, is in one way or another, usually to get to some book or get to some, learn something type of shit. So to even walk into a library, you got to be about something. Well, okay, walk into like a serious library, like these institute libraries, you got to be about something to even be of mind to even walk in there, right? So like the fact that when I walk in that motherfucking library, like when I cross that line, dude, like 98% of women get filtered out immediately just from crossing that boundary into that institute, right? And so this is another part I always tell guys. Guys say, like, I can't find women. I can't. There's no woman. Like, It's about where you're going. It's the population you're putting yourself around. If you keep hanging out in Walmart, you gonna keep finding Walmart bitches, right? It's like with that or with money, whatever the fuck. Like, it's not always the case, but it's a good proportion of it. But but back to, yeah. Thanks again for Snide Feather, man. Yeah. But yeah. If anything, like if you, okay, here's the thing. I'm so used to not coming with a girl for at least the first time we have sex. I'm so used to that. Like I said, unless she's a hooker, I'm so used to that that the thought doesn't even cross my mind. Like, oh shit, I didn't come. Like, no, that doesn't even. Because I already know me, and I know that I can just do it, and I want. If anything, my memories of being with that first girl again, because it's been a while since I had like a random girl or girlfriend like that. Because I'm with Kratos' mom for the last 2-3 years, something like that. And if anything, when I would get with a first girlfriend, the first time we would have sex, what I would enjoy more, because again, I wouldn't come, but what I would enjoy more is just to see what she would do to try to get me to come, right? And just what type of humiliating thing that she would do because she valued trying to get me to come, try to get me to come more than her own humility, right? And I still wouldn't come, but it would just be interesting just to. So here's the weird part. Like, my whole life's always been like this analyzation of other people type shit. Like, even when it comes to like not being able to bust a nut with a random hoe I met, the first time type of shit. But yeah, Sniper. Yeah, you handled that shit right, man. Yeah, it's her fault. Yeah, bistros are pretty big in Italy, and baking follows it. Pier Lane, yeah. It's called EM3. I think, yeah, EM3 down the street. They get a lot of they get a lot of girls from Italy in there. Because I remember when I first moved in this apartment, I call it an apartment, but they call them flats. Same shit. Um, I remember it was this one Italian girl was working in there, and she was like 18, and like that little girl was like crazy about me. Like, I'm not even joking. Like she was like begging me to come hang out with her. She would always say she had weed and wanted to smoke weed together. Now, I think I know why though, because there was she had a she was bi, and she had a girlfriend who was stalking her. Right? And you already, when you seen her and you seen the girlfriend, you already knew who really wanted who, right? Because the one who was working there, the one who wanted to smoke weed with me, she was the cute one, right? But she had a really good personality too. Because we talked even throughout COVID and all that shit. Because she went back to Italy when COVID happened, and she would tell me about what happened in Italy with COVID. Her English was good, but you can tell it me because the her girlfriend was the Butch one, and she was cool too. But you could really she was cool too. But here's the awkward part about that is, and maybe this just comes with age, but she was the simp, meaning like she was the chump. I don't know. Maybe I'm using the words wrongly, but the dyke was the chump. She was the man, especially with a young cute girl. She was the man. in the sense that when you seen her, you immediately could feel that she was just putting up with you to get to the cute girl, right? And it's so awkward and obvious once you learn how to like just kind of feel it. It's so awkward and obvious, like it's just it really comes off as pathetic. Kind of like, and here's a everybody knows when you're just putting up with somebody just to get to the cute girl type of shit. Like it's just so awkward and obvious. Everybody knows it type of shit. It very rarely works in reality. But yeah, Mo, yeah. The cute one was the leader. Yeah. Yeah. So I think in reality, what she was really trying to do was she was just trying to get me to come in there, and she probably would have been down to fuck or whatever, just to get rid of the dyke girl kind of thing. I think that's really what it was initially. But we got to talking. Like I said, when she went back to Italy, we would talk about. She'd be up at all hours of the night. This was long before I met the girl I'm with now. And she like, be writing all throughout the hour, just want to talk about random shit. And she was like 18, 19, something like that. Real cool girl. I haven't talked to her in a while. Real great personality, especially for a level, because her English definitely was not the best, but she had the ability to try, and that's where a lot of people fuck up with when on this Europe shit. Is a lot of people with the English, like if they don't feel like their English is up to par, they just gonna be too afraid to try. And I went through that phase when I first came here trying to speak Czech, even though my Czech is shit. I remember working through that phase when I lived in Česká Lípa, and there was weeks where I just starved and I just didn't go to the grocery store because I didn't, because I was just too afraid to fuck up speaking Czech, so I just wouldn't go, right? So I went through that shit, but I went through it much quicker given my situation because I didn't have the option living an hour away from the city center. I didn't have the option to rely on anybody to speak English. Like it was just me. Okay, I had a female friend who lived there who spoke English, but she was always working or something like that. So and I didn't want to always rely on her. So I had nobody to just go, hey, can you translate this for me? So tell them I want 3 hamburgers and 2 French fries, and then put the speaker. You know what I mean? I couldn't do that. So I had to eventually force my way out of that shit. And even then, my Czech is still not good now, by any means. My Czech is still shit. But I'm not afraid to go out there and fuck up. So when it comes to doing things like learning like language apps like in the US, like coming to like trying to like use like, well, one old one was Rosetta Stone, like Duolingo or whatever like that, and you sitting in Ohio, like yeah, like you may know the words, but do you know, okay, but you know the words in the context of you being comfortable in a country where you could just speak your native language and be totally fine, versus if you know the words but you're 5,000 miles away from home and nobody speaks this language, nobody speaks your native language. Now you got to come up with words and formulate words, and you have to listen to somebody speak and then reply in their language, in a reasonably short time. You've got to compile the words, so you got to translate the sentences in your head, so it really is a different situation. And I don't blame people for being scared to speak English. I really don't, because I do shit on Czech Republic a lot. But in many ways, I definitely don't blame them for it's when it comes to the English thing. Because like I said, the English thing also kind of hits that chord of like like, oh shit, I'm not prepared, and panic, right? But yeah. What's up, Green Mantis? I'll freak an orgasm sometime. Platypus dreams. Oh man, I can't. I don't think I could even do that. I would if I could. I don't think I could even like fake it. I'm glad you can though. What's up? What's up, Rana? Moving into a new apartment next week. Yo, I hope that's a congratulations situation. I hope what I can say is I hope it all goes well. But I guess it's a congratulations situation. I hope it's for a good thing, or if not, I hope it all works out. Green Man says the butch ones are usually the obsessive ones over the lipstick. Yeah. Yeah, and here's the thing, Green Man, is like when it comes to women in that, like that is a big situation because because the Butch and Dyke ones, I had one. Okay, remember I told the story last week about the girlfriend of the girlfriend, and then the girlfriend's girlfriend, that type of shit. When it was when I wanted to have sex, when I wanted the girls, I wanted to throat fuck the girls and have them puke on me. Well, the girlfriend's girlfriend, the second one. And okay, no. In reality, the first girl was actually a feminine girly girl type of thing, right? The girlfriend's girlfriend was like a mixture, like she was feminine, but she kind of stumbled into becoming dykish kind of thing. But she was still feminine. Now the girlfriend's girlfriend, her name was just her last name was Artis. I can't remember her first name now. Now she still wasn't a bad looking girl, but she was definitely not gonna wear a skirt or a dress type of shit ever type shit. Now on the deeper realities of things, and I'm gonna get to this article in a minute. On a deeper reality of things, when it comes to because I always say, look, women are never straight. Women are always women. When it comes to that whole straight, gay, all women are bisexual, dude. Because women don't really care about that. And on top of that, there's no real social punishment for women in sex. So women have no there are no boundaries with sex for women, right? They don't care. The only reason they care about boundaries is because they figured men care, right? Because now with men, there's tons of boundaries for sex with men. If a man does even if a man succeeds in fucking the most beautiful girl on earth, some guy's gonna bash him in some kind of way for it, right? Like there's always this underlying consequence of men and essentially finding any pleasure in life, right? So like as a man, it's up to you individually to just go fuck it. I'm just going to, do whatever I want type of shit, But don't go out raping bitches. But I mean, just it's that thing of like, okay, fuck it. I'm going to be happy knowing that I like to be happy, right? And it really is one of the, what's this? Did I get another tip? Snapper, what's up? $1. AD, what happens if you go to Prague brothel and you don't come? Or brothel women are capable. Okay, so Snapper, typically how it works, like how it works with most prostitutes, is like, okay, technically it's like 20 or 30 minutes you got with her, or if you come first, like whichever one, right? So if you just don't come, it just really depends on the girl in the brothel. It really just depends. Some girls like they like some girls, if she's maybe just not isn't in the mood, or she just doesn't like you for whatever reason. You never know why somebody doesn't like you. Um, she might be watching the clock, right? And other girls, they may just not care, just as long as you're not in there for 3 hours. Like it's really dependent like on that individual girl, right? It's not like, okay, I'm trying to think okay. It's not like going to the store. It's not like going to a restaurant, right? Like if the food's not to your like, well, it kind of is like that. I'm trying to think of a good scenario, when it comes to the hookers and brothel and shit like that, it's really just up to that individual girl, like what she's on, what she's about. Now the only thing that the only area that you can really the only area that would just be fucked up is if she is if you go to the show park and she says, okay, I want $250 from you. Like, no, every girl has to have the same maximum rate. And if they ever try to charge you more than that, you can go tell on them and they'll get in trouble for that shit, right? Now, on the back end, you can offer her, let's say, like 100 more euros or 100 more dollars to do X, Y, Z. If y'all just come to that agreement, then it's cool. And also, she can tell you no, she just doesn't want to have sex with you. Like, that's cool too. But from her perspective, she cannot come to you and say, okay, if you approach her for like regular classic sex, she cannot say, okay, I want $500. That's where she can't do it, right? And she'll get in trouble for that. Do they have different races or only white at show? Oh, they have different races. It's just on the website because white women just sell better. Okay, here's the thing: white on Earth is just gonna sell better than anything else, right? If you ever want to look like you have wealth or you ever want to look like you're welcoming or some shit like that, or you ever want to be seen as happy or trustworthy, you just put white faces on everything, right? But no, they have there's African girls in there. Well, the Romanian girls, a lot of Romanian girls can get white, and then when they tan, they can get dark. And I never seen that before. I never seen that before until I met a girl in there who was like that, and she showed me pictures. She showed me pictures of her on her phone of what she looks like when she gets in the sun, and or that type of thing. And I never seen that before. Or maybe she was lying. I don't know. But yeah, no, they have different races. They girls from Brazil, girls from Argentina, girls from Germany's white. They're gonna have girls from all over the place. They just honest, and then on top of that, it depends on just if you just go there on a lucky day, right? Because here's the thing, it's not like a regular full time job where let's say like the 20 girls who work there are working exactly 8 hour shifts every day. What it really, okay, the reality of the lineup is going to be is, okay, what girls that just want to work that day, they're not on contract to be in there or anything like that. They just pay about $200 a night for a room, and whatever money they make, they just keep, and they can go home within an hour. They can go home, they can spend the night there if they want to. It's up to the girl. um so with that being said, you just it's really just up to, at the lucky time of when bitches run out of money and they gotta go fuck to get more money, right? So so the days that I would always recommend to go is between Tuesday and Thursday. Now there was one guy who came here to meet me, and we went on a Monday, right? I took him there on a Monday. And I'm thinking, oh shit, this shit's gonna be dead. It's a Monday, dude. Like nothing's gonna, because Monday, it's Monday. Nobody's doing anything on Monday. And no lie, like that was one of the best nights I ever seen there. Like it was just like beautiful bitch after beautiful bitch after beautiful bitch after beautiful bitch, and but bitch came out the room looking like something from a music video. Like just it was. And I would have never told him to go there, but he really wanted to go. If you watching, man, I hope you know. I hope you remember if you watching. But I'm trying to say something without giving away something personal, so he knows I'm talking about if he's watching. Um, Rolex watch. That's what I say. A Rolex watch. It was a dude with the Rolex watch. We sat in a restaurant, and we met at this one restaurant every time we met, and and it was a Rolex. It was a Rolex watch. It was him. We went there. He wanted to go. It was a Monday, so we went on a Monday, and it was it was a great night. And there's another times where I think when I took my dad there, it was like a Wednesday or Thursday, and it was like dead. It was like, but no, to be fair, it was like 2 p.m. and so it was earlier in the daytime, so it's gonna be dead then. So I don't blame Show Park for that. Because even the dude, the manager, when we walked in, he said it, he said the same shit I said. It's gonna be dead that early in the daytime. Um, but yeah, it just depends on what day. It just depends on your luck of the day. Now you can try to gauge, like for example, like on Friday is gonna all the women know that men are trying to bust a nut on Friday night type of shit. The end they week off from working all week, so the men are gonna be in there buying champagne and buying up all the food, and you know what I'm saying. They already know this is gonna happen. So a lot of times you'll have a lot of girls in there, or close to the traveling holiday seasons. The girls know that, okay, y'all, we gonna get this tourist money, and they all gonna be out then, but then it's gonna be infested with men. So it's that always turns me off. I don't like being around men when I'm trying to have sex with a woman. I just don't like I just don't want to even see another man when I'm gonna have sex with a woman, right? And that's just me. But no, you have all different types, man. Now I will say this: I've never seen an Asian girl in there. I don't think, off the top of my head, I've never seen an Asian girl in there. There'd be girls from all over the Middle East in there. I still remember this one girl. Now this was at Da Vinci. I'm not a fan of Show Park Da Vinci. Now I think Show Park Da Vinci closed after COVID. I don't think it's been open since COVID. It's a smaller one. It's a smaller brothel. Now Show Park Market is more based. I've never been to the red light district in Amsterdam, but everybody always says Show Park Market is more like a red light district. It's just a room, women. It's like you walk in it, and it's just rooms, and women are standing outside their rooms, right? Now, Show Park Da Vinci is built more like a club, like something you would probably see. Like, okay, remember that movie? What was that movie with the bitch who got old? I keep wanting to say Mona Lisa, but that's the fucking Peyton. Monica Bellucci. Is that her name? Yeah, Monica Bellucci. Remember the movie that it was a movie with Monica Bellucci where she didn't say anything. She just walked the whole movie. And the little boy was like in love with boy was like maybe like 12 or some shit like that, but he was in love with the bitch, right? And the whole town was in love with Monica Bellucci in that movie. But she never spoke. All she did was walk, right? And there was a scene in that movie where the boy went to a brothel. I think the boy's father takes him to a brothel because the boy was like jacking off everywhere and creaking the bed. They could hear him upstairs jacking off because he was like going like jacking off to Monica Bellucci's character. She was like fantasizing about her. He was crazy about it, so he takes him to a brothel. Now, Show Park Da Vinci is more like that brothel where it's more like a club setting, like. Bitches are just sitting on couches and chairs, drinking, probably some water or some shit like that. But they're like dressed up, like in high heels and dresses and, makeup and hair and all that shit. So I remember I went in there one time after work when I worked that very brief job. And I won't say the company name. I worked this job for like only a month. And I stopped by there before going home. And I remember when I walked in there, there was these two other American dudes, like they couldn't believe, they were just heading out, and you can see like they couldn't believe it, right? Now I had already seen Show Park Market, so you gotta remember, like I wasn't like shocked anymore. So I go in there and I seen this one girl, like the girl, she legitimately looks like something from like a James Bond, like one of them hot bitches from a James Bond movie, like a legit, not one of them weird looking, good looking bitches from James Bond, but like a good looking look. Because okay, here's the thing, James Bond bitches, for some reason they always pick some weird, funny looking bitch that's just skinny, and then then they'll turn around and have like a legitimately beautiful woman like in the next James. I don't know why they do that shit, but um, but this girl, she legitimately looked like a hot bitch from James Bond. As soon as I seen her, I said, "Hey, are you ready?" And she goes, "Yeah." And she was drinking. She's out of a champagne glass, something like that. She goes, "Yeah, I'm ready." And we walk over to the elevator. And the elevator was actually like that elevator in the scene, in that opening scene where I think they was in South America in that James Bond movie. You had to reach forward, you had to close the elevator shut. It's like, that thin shit. And we go upstairs and she's, fucking like just drop dead gorgeous, right? And so she had her own, and so in Da Vinci, she had her own apartment. It wasn't just like a small room. It was like an actual apartment. It was a bedroom, like a full bathroom and all this shit, right? And we go in there and I see her. I remember looking at her like the bitch had just gotten there. I think she came from Turkey or I think she came from Turkey or some shit like that. I can't remember now. But it was somewhere like way out further east in Europe. Like it wasn't like Europe type of shit. And like the bitch had like just, because like all her shit was just sitting like right there, the luggage, everything. This bitch had just flown in and within 4 hours was sucking dick for money, right? And the thing was, the fucking weight of, like, you could tell like she wasn't even a thing. If anything, she was trying to please me type of shit, right? Girl was fucking drop dead gorgeous. Within 4 hours of getting to Prague, she in there already sucking dick for money. That's wild. And she was cool though. I didn't have a problem with her. She was cool. But here's the thing, man. Here's the weird part. Is the prettier they are, man. Usually, this is just the thing, man. Usually, the prettier they are, the worse they're gonna actually fuck. And she was not a good. She wasn't. Not that she just had a bad attitude. She just wasn't good at sex. Like, and that's what I tend to find a lot is that the prettier they are, the worse they'll be in sex. In actual fucking. AD, what's the nastiest thing you did with a woman at Show Park? With the one who was, I really didn't do anything real nasty because I couldn't really get. Here's the thing: when I would go to Show Park, man, like I couldn't really like let loose because usually I would have to I usually had something going on, so like Show Park was just like a pit stop type of shit. So I wouldn't want to get too exhausted. But I'd say the wildest shit I did was with that girl, the Black Canary girl. You can she did porn a while back, and she has a couple rougher porn scenes. She's older though, but she still looks good for real. Like not even trying to like play it up or anything like that. She still looks good when you see her in person. And so she does porn on it. She's on Black Canary. Her name's Black Canary on the internet, right? She doesn't like. She's one of those girls who just doesn't care about this shit. Like you can tell, like she just doesn't get the infatuation with sex. So that's why I don't feel bad about like identifying her. But I'm not gonna say her real name. I only say her her porn name. Um, I was just like spitting in her face, choking her, that type of shit, slapping her. I remember. I think when I came, I was choking her while she was jacking my dick off. I was like, I think that's how. But here's like you can tell by her energy, like one, she doesn't care. Two, she accepts sex, and three, like I can feel that she had done something like that before. You know what I mean? Like I remember while fucking. I remember while fucking her. I remember thinking like she's done some wild parties before. And this is before I didn't know she did. I had heard a rumor that she had done porn before, but I didn't really. I didn't look into it because it's tons of bitches. Why do I care? This one woman done porn when all these bitches in here, all these women in here are sucking dick for $50. I don't care if she did it or not. But that's about the wildest thing. I didn't do anything too. I'm trying to think. I think I peed on a bitch one time, but it really is just about the chemistry, honestly. Because I remember one girl, she had real big tits, and that's not very common for Czech women, right? That's just not common. Real big tits, real big ass. That's not a common Slavic or kind of Slavic trait is to have big. Those you most times those are gonna be fake, right? Now she had natural big tits, right? And we even kind of laughed about it because I said I have to take a picture. She let me take a picture of her tits too. That was on my old Samsung phone, but I took a picture of them because she had big tits, and we even laughed about it. And she said, "Yeah, I know." She said because my mom has small boobs, my grandma had small boobs, but my great grandma had big boobs. So she said she got it from her great grandma. But I remember she was like, I remember after we finished. Because she was actually she was cute. You can talk to her. And some kind of way we got in a topic of like, well, what are we after in life kind of thing. And I can't remember what I said, but she said she was just in her phone. She was just so into getting a nose job. Like that was her only goal in life. And you can tell like how much she was into it. And with all this, like everything that she had studied on noses and she had it on her phone. I believe her that her number one objective was to get her nose wasn't even, I didn't even notice anything wrong with her nose, but she wanted a nose job so she can be prettier. I just remember her and for some reason. So yeah, let's start on this article. I mean, I've already been on an hour talking too fucking much. So are there any any Latinas or Asians? I've never. Oh yeah, I think I answered that. Yeah, I've never seen any Asians. Latina, yeah, you'll see all types. It just really. I remember I had. Well, no, this girl wasn't Latina. This girl was Spanish. I remember I seen her and um we went to the room and after we finished, as sometimes like some girls are just so beautiful, like it just hurts so beautiful they are, right? It just hurts you how beautiful they are. And I told her like she thought she was ugly because she didn't look like Penelope Cruz, and she looked better than Penelope Cruz. Like I think she said she had a small son at home too. She was from Spain. She had a small son, like I think she had a 2 or 3 year old son. Beautiful girl, beautiful girl. So with hookers, man, like it's not always like bad cold experience. You can find like many of them that, especially down there, will have good personalities. Especially if they can speak English, they'll be great. Well, that girl from Turkey, she couldn't speak English, but she just had a great effort. But let's start this article. So it says UK men offer £10,000 to pose as dads in visa scam. So it says British men are taking payments of thousands of pounds to pose as fathers for migrant women's babies, a BBC investigation has found. They are being offered up to £10,000 to add their names to birth certificates, enabling a child to get UK citizenship and giving mothers a residency route. Scammers are using Facebook to tout for business and claim to have helped thousands of women in this way. Facebook says such content is banned by its rules. The investigation by BBC Newsnight found that the fraud is happening in different communities around the UK. It uncovered agents operating across the UK who find British men to be fake fathers. A researcher went undercover posing as a pregnant woman who was in the UK illegally and spoke to people offering these services. One agent went by the name Ty, I hope I pronounced that right, Ty, told her he had multiple British men who could act as fake fathers and offered a full package for £11,000. What's up, Anthony? He described the process as very easy and said he would do everything to get the child a UK passport. Ty, who didn't advertise on Facebook, said he would concoct a convincing backstory in order to successfully dupe the authorities. He introduced the undercover researcher to a British man called Andrew, who he said would pose as a father. Andrew would be paid £8,000 from the total fee. During their meeting, Andrew showed his passport to prove he was a UK national. He also took selfies with the researcher. The BBC did not pay any money to any of the agents offering a fake father service. When Ty was later confronted about his involvement in the racket, he denied any wrongdoing and said he didn't know anything about it. Andrew has not responded to our request for comment. Of course not. Yes, I did it. Y'all need to be punished. Oh. Another agent calling herself Ty T Kim claimed she had helped thousands of pregnant migrant women. She said she could provide a British man and it would cost $10,000 for the dad, with her fee being £300. Yeah, I don't believe that. I don't buy that shit at all. Her fee being £3,000. I mean 300 out of 10,000. Yeah, I don't buy that shit at all. All the men I use are born here and have never registered for any babies before, Kim told the researcher. I know how to handle everything. You won't have to worry about not having a passport. It will definitely be granted. Kim has not responded. Yeah. The fake father scam is described as incredibly elaborate by immigration lawyer Anna Gonzalez. It is very sophisticated, incredibly difficult to police, she says. In a way, it's just proof of how desperate these women are and the incredible lengths they're prepared to go through in order to secure their rights to remain in the UK. If a migrant woman is in the UK legally and gives birth to a child fathered by a British citizen, let me restart that. If a migrant woman is in the UK legally and gives birth to a child fathered by a British citizen or a man with indefinite leave to remain, the baby is automatically British by birth. The mother can then apply for a family visa, which will give her the right to remain in the UK and apply for citizenship in due course. This rule is to protect children, not to give visas to women who have no papers in the UK, says Ms. Gonzalez. It's not a loophole. It should not be seen as such. The BBC could not estimate the scale of the fraud, as the Home Office was unable to provide data on the number of cases it investigated. It also does not publish data on the number of visas granted for non-UK parents of British children. I doubt that. Oh, well, they probably don't publish it, but they have the data somewhere. It's just not published. Not a one-off. Let me see. Not a one-off. However, last year, 4,860 family visas were granted to other dependents, a category which includes those applying to stay in the UK as parents of British children. Deliberately giving false details on a birth certificate is a criminal offense. The Home Office has told the BBC that it measures in place to prevent that It has measures in place to prevent and detect immigration fraud using false birth certificates. It says that a birth certificate alone may not be sufficient evidence evidence of proof of paternity, and in cases where this needs to be established, additional evidence may be requested to enable our checks to be satisfactorily complete. However, immigration lawyer, I don't even know how to say that name, disputes whether enough action is being taken. It's not a one off, it's potentially thousands. The Home Office has just not picked up on this. He says that the practice occurs in many different immigrant communities, including those from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nigeria, and Sri Lanka, and that has been happening for many years. Newsnight's investigation found that illegal practice is advertised widely on some Vietnamese Facebook groups for job seekers. Yeah, I bet. Yo, like, that's one thing. I've never been to an Asian country, man, but that's one thing I love about the Asian pop. Like, them motherfuckers don't give a fuck. Like, they're like even when it's like some racist shit against me, I gotta be like, I got to admire just like where they have to be mentally. Like, I remember I looked for a job. No, I didn't look for a job. It was on Facebook, and I can't remember. It was an Asian girl. I can't remember what Asian country she came from, but she was definitely an Asian girl. And in the job posting, like it literally put white complexion only apply. Like it was for a teacher job, and you can only be white. Like even though it was like you gotta be a little upset about it, but at the same time it's like damn, like you can just you are just that bold to just not give a fuck. like like yeah. So I'm not surprised that last. So this women urged to DM. We found dozens of posts from accounts boasting about their credentials as suitable fake fathers, as well as women looking for British men to pose as fathers. One account posted, "I'm 4 months pregnant. I desperately need a citizenship daddy aged between 25 to 45." Another read, "I'm a dad with a red book, Vietnamese slang for a UK passport." Okay. "If you're pregnant and haven't got a father, then DM me." Meta, the company that owns Facebook, says it. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Buying a British dad. However the fuck you say that name. Investigates an elaborate immigration scam where pregnant migrant women pay British men thousands of pounds. Okay, here it is. "We spoke to one woman who told us she had paid a man £9,000 to pose as the father of her child. She said, 'He was 30 years older than me. I heard he'd done it before with another woman.' The woman said she didn't have much contact with the man. The pair only met 3 times, including when they went to the register office for the birth certificate. Another woman told us she had paid a man £10,000 to pose as a father, only to learn that he lied about his immigration status. Only a day after getting my baby's birth certificate, I found out that he didn't actually have a citizenship. I went crazy because I already put down his details on the birth certificate. I couldn't change it." But you know what? I bet in America, she probably could have changed it. America is so off with that. She probably could have changed that. She probably could have changed that. Well, I know out here, I know in Czech Republic you can change. It's not easy, but you can change it. Like let's say if Kratos wasn't mine, which we did the DNA test. But let's say if Kratos wasn't mine, like I can okay in America, once your name is on that birth certificate, like that baby is yours regardless of actual logic like science to prove it. That baby's yours, right? And again, I've always advocated this. The U.S. is using is the U.S. is essentially pimping its own women, right? That's really what North America is doing. These Westerner countries, especially North America, because I could say because I'm from there, America is essentially just pimping its own women, right? They're just not going to directly say it, but that's what they're doing, right? Right? But over here, let's say if Kratos wasn't mine, and we got a DNA test and it proved that he wasn't mine, then I can get my name taken off of his birth certificate, and she got to figure something out, right? I'm not on the hook for anything, right? North America's laws are so fucked up with that, dude. Like, if you're married to that, see, these are laws that women know, but most men don't know this shit. Like I said, like I touched on this a couple, I think last year. If you're married in the North America, if you're married, right, and if your wife has sex with another man while you're married to her, and she gets pregnant and has the baby, even if you take a DNA test and you have just well, the DNA test should be enough, but you got to remember we're dealing in dingbat land. Let's say you got every proof, every witness, every cell phone data record, everything where she admits that this baby is not yours, right? The fact that you're married to her legally makes that your child, right? And I bet you most men, majority of men in North America, don't know that. Don't even care to know it. Because they ain't thinking about it right now because it ain't affecting them yet, right? Another thing in North America, if you have a girlfriend or you living with a single mother or whatever the fuck like that, and she'll go out there and secretly put her address on your flat, so where she starts receiving mail at your place, if she received mail there, I think it's 30 days or 60 days. If anybody has received mail there, they are now legally a resident and you cannot just kick them out. See, these are the things, women know this shit. See, when they sitting there hanging out talking about shit, right? All they talking about is dingbat drama and how to fuck over men. Right? Right? Especially if they can't keep a man. That's all they gonna talk about. It's some dingbat drama shit and how to fuck over men and how to figure out how to consume more in society without giving anything back. Right? Because for a woman, giving anything back is oppression. Yeah, remember, man, women do not love you. It is never about you. Kratos' mom don't love me. She thinks she does because she thinks she can lose me, but she don't love me. Right? Women love the fact that women need protection and they fall in love with that need for protection. That's what she fell in love with. She doesn't fall in love with you. She falls in love with the potential that you can protect her. Again, whether financial, physical, or mentally, right? That's what she's in love. It's not you. It's not me. Like as a human, right? That's what it is. Doesn't matter. Because I replied to a comment on Subscribestar. Because earlier today, I was at the Institute of Biology in the library, and right before I left, I grabbed this one last book on ecology, right? And it was and this one actually went a little more into the study on animals and how they pick mates and shit, like mammals and how they pick mates and shit like that. And the women would, everybody with the manosphere. I'm sure somebody's already talked about this before, but the women, the women, the females would always want, like, the cool guy, whatever the fuck like that, and the lesser males would always get picked over, right? Now, another thing, women always wanted to go to a large social group for protection, right? The women always, but by this day and age, women now, they're only seeking large social groups because they figure they can bounce off of possible protectors within that social group, right? Because another area that it spoke on was, okay, when mating happens, there's typically two different types of women in mating, but both of them come back to the same thing, right? Both of them are going to come back to needing to who she's going to fuck and how well they can protect her, right? That's who she's going to pick, the best mate that she can pick, right? It has nothing to do with love, right? It's nothing to do with that. And it's going to come down to two. One case is the woman could be just a monogamous woman, a strictly monogamous woman. So she's going to want the guy who she feels like, she's going to want that one man who she feels who she feels can protect her, right? Now she may not be promiscuous, but the guy may be. See, here's the other part. Women don't care about if you're promiscuous or not. She can deal with that. What she can't deal with is if you go out there and open that door for another woman, right? You can go out and fuck 50 other bitches. She'll be mad, of course, but she'll get over that. But where it starts to draw the line is when you start to hold doors open for other bitches and you start buying other bitches food and you start, you know what I'm saying, you start showing signs of protecting. And once that woman is convinced that you can't protect her, then that's when she's done with you, right? That's when she tries to play this whole admirable, I'm a better human than this and I deserve. That's when she tries to spin it in that shit, but that's not what it is, right? So like you, okay. So back to this subtopic between the two different types of women. One woman will be monogamous, right? But her and like with where I'm going to go with number two, woman number one is in the end looking for protection, right? Whether it's protection from herself or whether it's protection from the other men from the lower class men who will just annoy her or abuse her or possibly kill her type of shit. She'll get with this guy just to protect her from those other men. She'll get with this guy to keep up with her social status of her female friends or females that she knew in her life. She'll get with that, but for the most part she'll stay monogamous, right? Now, woman two is going to be very promiscuous, right? And this is literally documented as a tactic. I think it's documented in this book. I think it was in this one too. Can you see this? Oh, let me switch it. Yeah. I think it was documented. This is literally right next to my bed. Evolutionary cognitive. It's literally right. It's sitting right here next to my bed. So woman number two will be very promiscuous, and this is done based off tactical reasoning. Because if she's very promiscuous, what she's going to try to do is, this is where I got the line like maybe 2 years ago of when a woman has 4 kids and she'll have 15 different baby daddies. See, there was logic to why I was saying, I wasn't saying it just to say something ridiculous. The reason why I would say, you know, the hussy down the street, she'll have 5 kids but have 15 different baby daddies. This is a strategic method by hussies, right? So what they do is, since they're juggling so many different men, her goal was to never have one father, right? Because to this woman, that one father is like putting all the eggs in one basket, right? So it's almost, so this is why I say like biology and economics really go hand in hand. So you have some investors, it's just like gambling. If you put all your money in, let's say Bitcoin, right? And Bitcoin shoots up, well, you gain all this much. Then there's some people who invest and they'll put some in Bitcoin, some in, you know, some stock, they'll put some in the casino, they'll put some in real estate, and they'll spread it out, right? It's the same shit with men, with how women choose men, right? It's the same shit. Now, the promiscuous one is the one who's investing in all the different ones, because again, when you invest in all of them, now it's a bit safer, but at the same time, the payoff for anyone is going to be much more lower because she's not really building anything with any one man too much. But in this day and age, you know, that one man might come by her house, so you know that kind of plays into it. But the promiscuous one, when she has 5 kids, she's talked 15 men into thinking that is theirs, right? So woman number one, she's just not promiscuous. She's not wired like that. I mean, she may have a fling here or there, but she's not really wired like that. Woman number one will be more monogamous, right? Now, again, there'll be an anomaly here and there. There'll be just a fling here or there, whatever the fuck. But she'll go back to the number one man, right? She'll go back to him. She doesn't want to go out there and have kids with 2 and 3 different men, right? Like penguins. Penguins, they legit get married, but then she'll go off and fuck, you know, other random penguins, but she'll come back to that husband. She's not having babies with them other penguins, right? So the promiscuous one, she'll talk 15 different men into thinking that the baby's theirs, right? And none of these men know of each other. They all think that they the only one. You know why? Because this is her strategy into prolonging her protectors. None of these men know each other. See, all these men are just like you. They walking around thinking, oh, I think I got Shelly pregnant. Shelly told me it's mine. Oh, and some men are going to be, oh, elated. I think I have a baby now. I think I need to do the right thing. And this hussy is just playing right along with that shit because she knows you going to talk yourself into thinking that, right? Yeah, 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 sure. Yeah, they need to step up and be a man and come buy Happy Meals and shit. She'll play right along with it, and she'll have 15 other guys with the same. When all she got is 5 kids, right? Because now that she has those 15 men who think that that baby's theirs, there's a good chance at least 14 of them will never have the courage to ask for a DNA test. They'll just believe it because they'll talk themselves into believing that, oh, well, since he might have came in her twice, that she must have his baby. Most men will never have the courage to actually approach her directly like that. And she won, right? And this is her survival tactic, right? As soon as one starts to die off, she'll swing over to another one. Hey, you need to take care of your son. You know he yours, right? And all that, and blah 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 blah. Blah. And she'll get him, and then when he starts to fall off, she'll bounce over to these other two. And hey, yeah, you know, Daquan need this and need that, and you know you're their daddy, right? And I need food for diapers. I need money for diapers, and they'll talk themselves into giving. And see, this is how they do it. This is how woman number two does it. She spaces out her investments, right? And this again, this is legitimately like scientific fact. And the fact that the U.S. government keeps trying to dance around and play like it doesn't exist, it just pushes it more to me that yeah, like the United States is essentially pimping out its own women. This is what they're doing because they know this shit. There's no excuse for them not to know it. Read this comment. Elusive Man says, luckily for me, in my native country, we have to travel to town to get our mail from the mailbox. 80 is like, it's racist, but I respect it. Yeah. To be a true player, you have to know how to play. Dark Rebel, what's up, man? I always tell dudes that in other countries, a man won't get destroyed in the courts. Too many people think the whole world is like the islands of North America. Yeah, the island of North America. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Too many. Yeah, there's a lot of American men. Like I'm still traumatized. I'm still traumatized in many ways from growing up in the United States. But yeah, that is a yeah. Too many American men are thinking that it's going to be like that outside the U.S. and it's just not. Like the U.S. is now I'm curious because I've never looked into this side of it. I'm curious to see like exactly how many other places on earth have that same punishing consequence of getting involved with a woman as North America does. Because it really is it seems to be a special occurrence. AD, what do you think about OnlyFans? Pros and cons about it as well. I think unless you just have okay, so for example, OnlyFans. There's going to be a part of the population who will always have a use for anything in life. So let's say like a disabled person for one reason or another. I think it's great for them. I think it's great. I think OnlyFans can be great for like for people who have a specific fetish that's just hard to find or if they just find like if they just want this just to see like that one look or that one type of a girl to do like a specific thing, I think is great. I think it can be a great, escape tool or method to fulfill that desire. Maybe your thing is to see bitches with huge tits and no ass, eat balloons. I don't know, whatever, and then throw the balloons up. Whatever your fetish may be, you can. It makes it easier to find that in OnlyFans, and women, and some women's gonna be willing to do it, right? You can just ask them to do it, and then they do it. Now, because like for example, I'm pretty sure Amsterdam I think their government has it set up to where they give specifically a stipend to disabled people to have sex with prostitutes, so they can get so they can just have sex, right? I think for one reason, like for me with hooker, I think prostitution is great. If as long as men know how to use it properly, right? Now where it gets out of hand is when guys are just sending these women, hundreds of thousands of dollars, literally just because they're just existing as a woman. So they're not even having sex with them. I think at that point, the guy's more running from himself. at that point. I could see if they were like learning something, or like they were like paying for courses, or maybe like wanted to, listen to me or listen to somebody better than me who may be teaching them, or giving them a different perspective that they valued, to give them some thought to actually go off with later in life, and use in their life type of shit. I can understand that. But the fact that like that a woman, that some guy, that a guy, that men will come together and just give women this amount of money just because they're just standing there sitting in front of a camera and they're just a woman. I think that is gross. Here's the thing. I think it's gross that MIT literally gives out free courses on YouTube and OnlyFans, and women will get more attention than any MIT course will ever get. I think that's fucking gross, right? I think that's disgusting. MIT will literally give out. Matter of fact, we'll go check them out after this article. I'll show you, because I meant to post it in Subscribe, but I just kept forgetting. I meant to post it in there, but I think a lot of, or maybe these guys just don't know they could just fly to Prague and actually have sex with these types of women for $50. Like, maybe they just don't know they can do that. So I got to accept that reality too. But yeah, oh yeah, no, Rana, what's up, Neomorpheus? No, OnlyFans. Let's say like it definitely does have. Out of all honesty, I've never paid for OnlyFans. I paid for hookers, but I've never paid for OnlyFans. For some reason, like I just don't. I can understand, again, like if a guy just has a specific fetish, or maybe he's disabled and lives in the middle of fucking Kansas or some shit like that, then I can totally see, or I could even see you live in Ohio and you got to deal with bitches in Ohio, just to communicate with a woman who's just physically healthy or just fits whatever you're looking for. You don't have it in your country or state or whatever. Yeah, I'm not mad about it then, but it's when I think I seen him. I don't know how true this is, but there was this one meme or whatever you call it where this guy sent he paid an OnlyFans model like $10,000 or something like that, and to go on a trip with him, and the girl turned around and gave it all to her, to her actual boyfriend. I think scenarios like that are just, I think by that point, the person's gone just completely into just in some type of just sense of depression and need for validation at that point. Um, yeah, I think because like as I've always said, there is no pussy worth more than, I'd say, $300 or $400 max. I don't care how beautiful she is. At that point, there is no pussy there is no woman on earth. Beyonce in her prime was not worth more than $300. All right, and I don't care if she sees this or hears me say it. There is nothing about her pussy that is worth more, and I got to be starving to spend any more than about 100. Right? I've never spent more than $100. And matter of fact, the only time I spent that was just because the girl was just so cool. Like she was like genuinely cool. Her and her friend. That's the only reason I gave him $100. But yeah, I don't think most guys know you can fly out to another country and get sex on the cheap. I didn't know until I started watching your channel. Oh yeah, Rana, yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, you could definitely, yeah, cause you just fly to Prague. Well, then on reality, like mostly in the U.S., you gonna, okay, unless you know where to go on a website, you gonna spend $1,500 on a plane ticket. So you factor that on top of a 9-hour flight, and then yeah, it's like they American men have all that to kind of fight with, but yeah, with these guys sending 10,000, oh, they're absolutely not. Like I said, a while back, with these rappers who are like buying these women houses and cars and jewelry. This is just absolute nonsense. These rappers or whatever the fuck. They could be, fucking, judges or, or the head of city council, whatever the fuck. These men who are paying women any more than a couple $100, I don't care how beautiful this bitch is. Right? That's just that they have to be stuck somewhere to do that, right? Buying women a card, what? Like I said, a $1,500 worst case scenario, a $1,500 plane ticket out here at minimum. You gotta find a place to sleep. Food is not gonna be too expensive. But okay, I said a while back, what's the rapper's name? 2 Chainz. All these rappers who are going out here spending all this money on these hussies and whores like that, dude. I I want to make a program where okay, where I would calculate exactly how much money. Let's just because I don't even know who 2 Chainz is. I just know his name. I want to see how much money 2 Chainz is actually spending on cars so bitches can see him in the car, right? Because that's the only. Let's be real. The majority of the reason why most motherfuckers are buying these expensive cars is because they think bitches gonna see them driving it, right? Because most motherfuckers don't. People like the shape of cars. Most people don't know how to enjoy an actual car, right? So these motherfuckers buying all these expensive cars and all the shit that goes tied in the picking up bitches. I want to calculate all this money that they spending, right? And then what I want to do is I want to bet them that I can take them to 1 or 3 places that will annihilate all these bitches that they're spending money on, and keep track of how much money that's being spent on my plan, and then he gives me the rest of all that money that he spent. Just give it to me. Give me that. Give me all that. It ain't got to be a millionaire. A basic dude who bought a fucking Ford Equinox for a bitch, right? Some shit like that. I'll take that. I'll take that $30,000. Give it to me. And he fucked around and had an international friend on top of that. You know what I mean? Like these motherfuckers spending all this money on this shit. And they be trying to ball and show out, and like with Lil Wayne going to the club in Miami and just throwing money up and all this like that. You are an absolute fucking fool. You are a damn fool to go to a to go and to just throw. That is some personal issue, right? That is a personal issue to think to go to a club and just want to throw money up in the air for everybody for whores on stage. That is a that mental discrepancy in my boat will fit the same is the same thing of like buying your baby like a $40,000 baby stroller. Like this baby don't know what the fuck this. That is a you problem, right? That's a you problem, dude. Yeah, do all that. Again, maybe they don't know. Maybe they don't know. Because where you think them porn stars are going? You know, where do you think these porn stars? Where do you think these porn stars are going? When they've been then went quiet for a little while and all that shit. They left the U.S. They working in brothels. They working on webcams. They working as escorts. And you know, and if they get lucky, some there'll be some chump wherever they at that'll put them in some movie or something like that just because he thinks he'll get some pussy out of her type of shit. And then when they get another call back in the US, they go back to the US, shoot another couple scenes, something like that, have some chump there take care of them, and they bouncing it out like that. Where you think they going? Why you think all them porn stars? Oh, okay, well, nowadays not so much, but back in the day, the porn stars would always go on about Europe, and whenever somebody always wants to say something fancy, they always go about Europe and how they know so much about Europe. How you think they was affording all that shit? I would never spend $100 more. Yeah, it's a long time ago with this theory. They don't want men to know in North America. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, man, yeah. Dude, American women are fucking like done, dude. But let me finish this article. So it says, so back to the article. Okay, yeah, because there's one part I really wanted to touch on. It's coming up. So it says, the woman now has a stranger as the registered father of her baby, and she and her child still do not have to leave. still do not have leave to remain in the UK. So how do you say this? Harjab. I don't know how to say that. Says the Home Office need to investigate more visa applications and raise a red flag. If a child claims to be British and has a British parent and the other parent doesn't have a visa, that should be a perfect case for a simple request for a DNA test. In the UK, there are no requirements for DNA testing when registering a birth or applying for a child's British passport. Mr. Bengal doesn't think this many people are being Mr. Bengal doesn't think many people are being prosecuted for this crime. That's why people are doing it, because there's no fears or any repercussions. So this is the part I want to touch on right here. Is to this day, I still do not know why there are no why it's not mandatory to have a DNA test at the birth of a child. I don't know. Out of all other expensive shit, out of everything they're doing, there's no excuse, especially in a richer country. The DNA test is, max $200, right? Why? There's no excuse for that, to not have a mandatory DNA test. There's no reason. I went with my girl when she would go to her doctor's appointments, and what all they had to do to her in there. That shit was wild, relatively speaking, wild. Like, how the fuck? Why would you not at birth or within after she gave birth? Why not just? Why not do that? Because here's the thing. I remember we was walking in the mall before she gave birth, and I can't remember what happened, but I got mad. Right? I was mad, and I just walked off. And then she came like chasing after me. So then a part of me was like a little nervous because a white woman's chasing after me. Like my first thought was, oh my God, these European white people gonna think I stole something from this white woman. So I started getting a little nervous. That's what it's like to be black. You immediately think somebody thinks you stole something. Cause I got mad. I can't remember what happened, but I got mad. I just walked off. I ain't yelling nothing. Because we got on this topic about the DNA test and how I thought it was bullshit. And she said something and I walked off. And because I remember, because she had problems coming after me because she gained weight when she got pregnant, and she got these new stockings, and the stockings kept falling down. They were supposed to go up to like her thigh, but they didn't like stick, so they kept falling down. So she's like an old woman. And she was coming after me. And I remember thinking, I remember about 2 or 3 steps down, I'm thinking to myself, oh God, these white people gonna think I stole something from this white woman. I'm getting ready to go to jail now because I want to throw a little attitude. But it happened. But because I thought it was bullshit how they just always happen, like, hospitals and shit. They just always happen to just forget about the man when it's the man's benefit, right? But when it's the woman's benefit, these motherfuckers are just on top of the game, right? Just how quickly men are just disposable, right? Like, and you really see it. You really see it when if your girlfriend or wife gets pregnant and you go with her to these meetings and shit like that. Like, dude, that's when you get that real brutal upfront reality of like how society really sees men. Dude, like, you are only wanted when things get men are only wanted when things fuck around and get really, really, really rough, or there's a chance that they could get really, really, really rough, right? After that, dude, like, they don't give a fuck. Like, I remember when Kratos was born, like, I was panicking, dudes. I wasn't ready. I just wasn't ready for a life to come out of another human at all, right? And it was, and we talked about it, and she agreed with me. She said, "Yeah, like, they should really involve you more because, like, of course, like, she's ready to give birth because she's sitting with the motherfucker. She's dealt with them for 9 months, growing inside of her, kicking her, pushing up against her bladder, whatever the fuck. But for me, like, I don't have any really direct contact with this little motherfucker, right? So when that new life comes out, like, most men who came in there that night was all panicking. Like, we're like, how they look like how I look when I walked in there, just like with that 1,000-yard stare shit. But just how quickly you are just, as a man, you just disposed of, right? At least until things get too bad. Like I said, like when the woman needs financial help and all that, then they'll fuck it. Like if I put my social security number down, them motherfuckers will jump through hell and high water to come find me, right? I bet you they would. But these motherfuckers don't want to do an automatic DNA test. Are you fucking serious? For $200? $200, bro. Think about that. $200 for a fucking DNA test, right? That's all it costs. Out of all this shit, out of all this socialist health insurance you done used to get this baby out, out of all this communism health insurance y'all got over here in Europe to get this baby out. Out of all you couldn't spare 200 more euros for a DNA test. But if I put my if I put my name on that birth certificate, these motherfuckers will fly to Neptune to find me. Excuse me, this nigger named Wendell here. Well, it tells some nigger he got a baby back in Czech Republic. Here's the bill. If he doesn't come back in time, we're gonna send him to jail. Right? Ain't even no question, right? I just thought it was bullshit. And I walked off. But that's just how it is, man. But here's the thing, though. Here's the other part, because here's the thing. I'll be real with y'all about this. She didn't even want to go get the Let me switch this back on me. Well, no, because I wanted to show you MIT, so I'm gonna leave it here for a minute. She didn't even want to go get the maternity leave, right? Like she didn't want to go down there and get all that shit figured out. And I had to keep. So here's the thing: like the work, okay, especially in richer countries or countries closer to richer countries, women will be taken care of at least on a minimal level, right? But here's the thing: women are so fucking stupid, like they'll still fuck it up, right? Like it's just how they are. Like you can't be mad about it. It's just how they are. She didn't even want to go down and get the maternity leave. I had to keep talking to her to go down there and get that shit. I had to tell like, no, this is your money. This is why they have maternity leave, so you can get it. So I got to going down there and talking with the motherfucker, talking with the officers. What I found out was actually there was a whole higher echelon that she wasn't even eligible for because she didn't earn that much money. So what does that tell you? The richer people are taking out the payments because I think she was a little ashamed because she didn't want to look like she was poor. But no, the richer people have their own sources of welfare. And this is something that most motherfuckers watching this right now don't know. Look, you don't qualify for certain welfare because you don't earn enough money. Did you ever think of that? Did you ever think of that? It didn't even cross your mind, right? Most motherfuckers wouldn't even cross your mind because you automatically think welfare. And you must think, oh, they must be like the scoundrel poor type shit. No, there's different sectors. There's different sections of welfare, and broke motherfuckers don't earn that much to get that section of welfare. This is why you gotta love economics and governments and economics because they will like the people talk themselves into a circle, and it's fucking beautiful to watch it as a spectator, right? It's beautiful to watch how most of society is held up from the individual's insecurities. That's literally it. Thanks, Elijah. Listen, man, I read that in France, the government made it illegal for men to get DNA tests, so men send DNA kits outside the countries. I didn't know that. That's wild. Like, why would that shit be illegal? Like, why? Why is that illegal? And I've always stated that. I've always been on that shit, man. Like, why the fuck is it doesn't make any sense. Why that would in any way, shape, or form be not be just done when the baby's born? I think it's just gross and it's pathetic how it's gotten away with this long. Let me see. Oh, turn that off because I don't want to get copyrighted. So here is MIT's YouTube channel. And these courses are all free. It's all free shit. Hey, you want to know? And I'll be real. I'll be super real with this. I find it disgusting that my YouTube channel fucks around and gets more views than MIT's gets. 700 views, 900 views. Some of them got 6,000. This one blew up 182,000. 1,800, 540 views. So there's open courses, and there's other different branch offs of this, and it's not just MIT. Like many colleges put free courses up on the internet. It's just and some anything you could even think to want. But yeah, I really wanted to share that. I thought that was important. What's this? What's it? Or once? Oh, I think that's important. And they got 7,000 videos up. That's gangster. But guess what motherfuckers care about? What did Kim Kardashian and Nicole Aniston do last week? You know what's going crazy? Motherfuckers are really out there. Look, this is something wild. I thought motherfuckers are really out there watching how Ben Affleck closed the door on Jennifer Lopez. My first thought when I seen that Ben Affleck and J Lo shit, where they walk up and get in the car, motherfuckers are falling out about that. And then it said that Ben Affleck is 50 and Jennifer Lopez is 53. But my first thought was, look, a 53-year-old woman ought to be happy any man is walking her to a car at that point. On top of that, a man who is making movies and has access to more than $15 in his bank account. Jennifer Lopez, you are 53. All right? That man can do better than you by tonight. I don't know why he's still fucking with you. You 53. Y'all, as far as I know, they ain't got no kids together, nothing like that. Why is the world falling out about a 50-year-old man? Why is the world falling out about a 50-year-old man, a successful 50-year-old man, even though I think he's a terrible Batman, but he's a successful 50-year-old man closing the door the way he did on Jennifer Lopez. Yeah, y'all don't know what Jennifer Lopez probably did before that. She probably did some shit that he clearly said don't do, and she did anyway, and probably fucked up a whole deal. So he's pissed off. You don't know what the fuck happened. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, she's 53, dude. Like at 53, that woman needs to be happy. Any man is walking her anywhere. All right. She needs to be happy. Look, I seen that as a win for Jennifer Lopez. A successful man walked her to a car, opened the door for this 53-year-old woman, and then closed it. She need to be happy for that. She needs to be happy she even still got that shit. That's wild. Terrible Batman, but I side with Ben Affleck. I gotta side with him on that, but I think he should really just go off and just be alone or do better. Hey, did you hear about Steven Crowder? I don't know who that is. Steven Crowder? Let me look it up. Crowder is an American Canadian political commentator. Who is this? He's a year younger than me. Why is my phone moving so slow? Now I don't know who this is. He worked for Fox News. So he got a divorce. I know he's married to Hillary. Oh, maybe this didn't. Oh, so he berated her while she was 8 months pregnant. Yo, okay, see, in situations like that, man, like now, there was only a couple times where I got on Kratos' mom. This is before Kratos was born. This is before she was even pregnant with him. But because I had to tell her, yeah, what you doing is stupid. Like, why would you? I can't remember what it was, but I remember I just like stood in the doorway to say, like, yeah, what you doing is stupid. Because and I had her explain, like, why would you do this type of shit. Now, here's the thing. Anybody in my life who I've ever blown up on like that, when it was over, they could tell you the exact reason why I did it, right? Like there's no like confusion as to what happened. Here's the thing. And the reality is, many times women will immediately know why the guy did this, right? On top of that, you add in, okay, one, you add in the man. See, there is a pressure on being a man that women just don't want to understand and simply can't understand because women don't protect anything, they don't create anything, they don't develop anything of actual value through sheer skill, right? The few things that women do develop come from after man's already paved the way or did 95% of the work to do it, right. So women do not understand that constant fucking pressure of what it takes to be a man and all, and to, to just, exist and be seen as man, right? Because on the back, like I said before, women, all a woman has to do is just literally just exist and age, and she'll be seen as woman worldwide, right? That she doesn't have to provide, create, do, innovate anything. All she has to do is just sit there, be fuckable. You're a woman in the world now. Now a man won't be called a man if he can't, protect, create, innovate, develop all this shit. Then he's just nothing. He's a child to the world, right? All right. Now on top of that, you add in that stress of a baby coming, especially if that was his first child. Like you add in that stress, a motherfucker's gonna fly off. Right now, to be fair, to be completely honest, I haven't done that in my situation. Mostly because we kept, and I'll be honest with you, because it probably would have happened at some point, but mostly because we still keep separate living areas, right? So I'll get a break from just dingbat shit because she's a woman. Women are women, dude. They're fucking dingbats. Like it's just a reality of life. Like it's very rare you gonna find a woman who is genuinely going to have a realistic awareness on life, right? Like it's very rare if it ever happens. And if it does happen, you probably wouldn't live with her anyway because you're probably gonna be just ugly as fuck by the time she's developed that level of intelligence. But no, I've never, especially with the baby, nothing like that. No, no, never. But I will say is I can see how somebody can do that, especially if the motherfucker wasn't like intelligent and like red pill shit like that. I can totally see how a man can do that because bitches are stupid. They're dumb as fuck. Right? They're dumb as fuck, but they can always play off the dumb as fuck as being oppressed or being bullied and shit like that. So if you try to critique her or anything like that, should the woman's just gonna take it as being oppressed and being mean because it hurt her ego and also you can't do it. So it just gets all you can do is just walk away, right? That's all, or explode on them, right? It's just how women are, right? And the other reason of why it's so bad is because the woman is a grown adult, right? This is what makes it worse when it's a woman and when it's a child. Even though it get bad with children too, but it gets worse when it's a woman because a woman can see it's worse when it's women because women always want to play like they're responsible adult men when it benefits them, and then when it doesn't benefit them, and they play like infantile, innocent little butterflies. And see, that adds to the frustration of all of it. So like when a man goes off and beats the shit out of his wife or something like that, I'm not gonna say that. Okay, like Chris Rock said, I can understand. Chris Rock said that years ago. He said I wouldn't do it, but I can understand how a motherfucker can do that. So I'm not like totally mad at this motherfucker, right? Now there are some motherfuckers who are just completely out of line and just went like, "What, bitch? You cook macaroni and cheese? Fuck you, bop!" and just punch her in the fucking throat. There's some motherfuckers that's fucked up like that. But I will, like Chris Rock said, like I personally wouldn't hit a woman. Here's the reality of why I wouldn't hit a woman, right? And this is gonna be some real shit. The reality of why I would not hit like Kratos' mom or something like that. The real reason as to why it has nothing to do with with respect for women, right? It has absolutely nothing. The reason why I would not hit a woman, like let's say at a bar or in a club or whatever, The reason why I would not like out of anger, out of man anger and strife, the reason why I would not just bop, and legit hit a woman is because I know I would beat the shit out of her, right? That's the exact reason why I would not fight. I would not hit a woman because I know I've been around enough women growing up to, even when they're like bigger and shit. I mean, there's some women who would definitely beat my ass. Don't get me wrong, but I know how women are in their nature of woman, right? If you okay, even if mark my words, even if it's a woman, let's say like if I were to fight like Lali Ali, right? Which bitch would beat my ass. Don't get me wrong, but hear me out on this. Put my little ass against Lali. Lali Ali, Tatiana Ali. That's the girl who did Fresh Prince. It was a Muhammad Ali's daughter who went on to be a bot. Put me up against like a bitch, like a fighting bitch, right? Like an MMA fighting bitch, some shit like that. What's that bitch name? Gina Caruso. I can't. She was kind of cute. Gino Rossi. What the fuck? Whatever. Put me up against. Okay, if I was to get one of them, a properly leveraged man strength punch off and hit her anywhere on her body, her immediate female instincts would be to give me whatever I want, right? Even if it really didn't hurt for real. Like, you mean like on a fatal level? Like, has anyone ever seen like a woman who thought she was bad get like properly leveraged hit? Like, it's literally in the woman's DNA to go, okay, sir, take whatever you want. Like when she first hit, because see, women don't hit other women like that because women don't know. See, that's the other, like women do not have that sense of ferocity in the punch. Like even when you watch bitches like punch motherfuckers in like female boxing matches, like they just don't have it. Right? Like that sense of ferocity in the punch, that whoosh. They just don't have it. Right? Now, I mean, again, don't get me wrong. Like if you would have put me up against like the MMA bitch would beat my ass. I'm not acting like I would beat an MMA level, because that's what she does as a profession. It's what she trains to do. I don't stand a chance in a thorough fight with a bitch like that, right? But what I'm trying to say is, even if the most dominant MMA fighting bitch, the most butchest dykest woman on earth, if she were to be completely honest, right? If she were to be completely honest and tell you her experience of getting hit by a man, not even a man on her level, a man even a few steps beneath her level, but if she got genuinely hit with that reinforced male strength, she will tell you exactly what I just told you. Like it's a part of her immediately wants to give up and just give you whatever she has. Like she doesn't like it's that nature shit. There was always reasons to beat them. Yeah. Yeah, there's always reasons because they do stupid shit, dude. Like like in my opinion, it's them doing stupid shit. Like I said, it's them doing stupid shit in combination with playing at being a responsible human and then playing like being an oppressed innocent butterfly whenever it's to benefit for them. Like it's that combination of the two that just makes you want to just punch a feminist bitch in her fucking face. Like that's what makes me like it's a lot of men right now who would be happy to like okay, here's the thing. There's a lot of men on earth right now. If you told them that they had the option to either get free ribs for a year or line up 10 feminist women in a row and you can just unload your hardest right hook on all of them going down the line, a lot of men would pick the punch the feminist bitches. Right? And they'd just buy their own ribs all year and be like, yep, that shit was worth it. And the reason why they would do it is because of what I'm saying. Like, because it's annoying, dude, because they're fucking dingbats. They're not going to make much sense. Any logic they're going to come up with is going to be skimmed off the top and cherry picked logic that's going to make no sense once you ask them 3 questions into it. They have no sense of awareness of reality of human development, of human innovation, innovating anything except waiting for men to give them something. And it just gets fucking annoying, dude. It's fucking annoying. Then on top of that, the dude that somebody told me to look up with, he was probably married to a white American bitch or Canadian bitch. Oh yeah. If you got any sense of courage or any sense of balls with the state that women are in now in them Western countries, oh yeah, you might as well just count on that. Cause she's stupid. She's gonna be stupid. It's difficult to hold back when they taunt you sometimes. Yeah. Oh, I seen that, Elijah. The girl who was arguing with the dude in high school. Was that the one where the dude asked her what book she read, and she talking about she read Harry Potter? Yeah, like, yeah, I think that's what you talking about. Are we talking pork ribs? I say if it was beef ribs, I take the beef ribs. But if it was pork ribs, I'm gonna start warming up my right hook. Because that's the problem with feminism, man. Like, the problem with feminism is the fact that is that they keep trying to play which side's gonna be more for their benefit or not, and it has everybody just juggling everybody. Everybody's like juggling back and forth. Well, is she strong and responsible and powerful, or is she innocent and weak and she doesn't know what to do? And everybody's bouncing back and forth from one foot to the next all throughout the goddamn day. And motherfuckers are they're annoyed. Feminism, you're annoying. It's pathetic. It's disgusting and it's annoying. And the only ones getting off on it is other reject bitches, right? It's other reject women. That's the only people who like it. Feminists are the equivalent to I don't know, like I can't even think of an example right now. It's just terrible. Let me read these comments. Yes, I see it. Training MMA, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, judo all the time. The first time one of us men don't hold back on them and fight like a man, almost all of them are shooketh and tear up for a moment. Yeah, yeah. They just don't have it, dude. Like, it's just not in them. Like that next level sense of like of a reinforced punch type of shit. Like yeah. Now again, like if I was to fight a woman who's trained, like I couldn't keep up with a woman who's training in boxing like right now. I wouldn't be able to keep up with that. Like she should beat my ass at that point. Like I would be. It would be even worse if I still beat her up, right? But the reality is, if you take a man who's relatively speaking 60% as well trained as the woman, the man's gonna dominate her. That's just how it is. Right? In pretty much any field, right? And see, here's the other shitty reality. I'm gonna get off here in a minute, but here's the other reality on that, man. Is like, okay, the professions, right? Or even in mice, the same shit would come out in mice, right? Like, because with mice, they can legitimately like just switch the gender, like they can just change the gender, change the chromosome of mice, right? Relatively at a moment's notice. But what they found was if the mice was born male, then the mice can do everything that the woman, well, outside of give birth, the mice could do everything that the woman does along with male mice does. But if the mice was born as a woman and they switch it to a man, it could never be a real, like women could, it could never be a man. It could never go out there and do the same shit that male mice do, right? And it even comes out in professions among humans, right? So with that whole argument and fight of and that was a relatively deep history. I don't have enough time to go on it now, but when women entered the workforce, women kept trying to fight their way in the professions that men were holding, right? Now the thing is, it's not going to be any secret. Now, okay, one part of the argument is the women did not have the history in these fields to work in, so they didn't have the education or skills to keep up with the men, whatever, right? And that is a legitimate argument, and I'll side with the women on that. But on the back end, well, how many men was decorating homes, and how many men was making dresses, and how many men was setting up dinner tables, how many men was doing all these relatively these women jobs, and the men would go in there and dominate those jobs, right? Right. So it still comes out to the same ending scenario, is that men, outside of just giving birth, like giving birth is literally the only area where women will consistently dominate men in terms of human survival. And it's not because anything they actually did. It was just the gender they just it was just the body parts they just happened to end up with, right? Like that, but that's the only area. Now there's some areas where women will do better, but in these areas where women will do better, women do not do better than men unless the area is already controlled, right? Once the area is controlled, like controlled testing, right? Controlled placement of things, controlled once men have already built the house, now the woman will control where everything's placed in the house and will know where everything's at in a moment's notice. See, that's what women do not thrive in creating and developing. Women thrive in after men have created and developed. Now they're going to micromanage all the little things inside the house after the man's already built the house. Now this is nothing but this is legitimate fact. I'm not just making this shit up off the top of my head. I gotta pee. I'm getting out of here. The new feminist women are altering their DNA with transitioning meds. And the thing, and yeah, here's the thing, Tom. I'm gonna get off here in a minute. Here's the thing, man. No matter how, no matter what women do to try to be men, they will never be able to compete with a man. Never, because women do not. Okay, the other part that women are also lacking is planning and protection. Because if you really think about it, there's no real reason why women in any capacity amongst any mammals should not be able to protect themselves, should not be able to team up and protect themselves against, an aggressor male, lion, dog, other human, whatever the fuck, right? There's no reason why. Okay, what scientifically speaking, what was there ever stopping a group of lionesses going out and just and picking on the loser lions and killing them and eating them, or bullying them or whatever? Whatever really stopped women throughout history from coming together, teaming up, and making their own country and making men sex objects and all this shit? What was there ever really in it throughout history? Whatever really stopped the women from ever doing this, right? I mean, sure, you have occurrences here or there. You have like a grasshopper. I think it was the black widow. You have small occurrences where the women just flat out kill the male type of shit. But these are very far and few in between. Very far and few in between. Right. But for the most part, whatever really stopped the woman from getting up, not need, whatever really, nothing. Nothing. She does. If history will tell you anything, is that women want, like they want that. They want to be controlled by men. Like they need that shit, right? Even that, if you go out in that workforce and you meet women, right, and you ask every woman, what kind of man do you want? Do you want a man who earns less than you, equal to you, or more than you? Every woman's going to say she wants a man that earns more than her. Right? Then after that, how much more do you want him to earn? And most women will just keep going until there's a limit on the height of it, right? So in the end, she still wants a man to go out there. Even the most strongest feminist does not want to be the number one. She wants to be number two. She wants to go out there and work for somebody and be woman is literally, scientifically speaking, woman is literally not happy unless she's underneath a man. Like, and it's truly shocking. But anyway, I'm out of here. So y'all have a good night, good day, wherever you are, and I'll catch y'all on a flippy flip. I'm getting out of here. Thanks everybody who donated, subscribed, commented, liked, and I hope y'all have a good day, evening, night, wherever you are, and I'll catch y'all later, man. Peace out.